Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to see the most important topic under the environmental law unit 8 of the UGC NET law examination, that is the Environment Protection Act 1986. This act came into force on 19/11/1986 and the total chapters are 4 and the total sections are 26. So the chapters are: chapter 1 is preliminary, chapter 2 is general powers of the central government, which is very important, and chapter 3 is prevention, control and abatement of environmental pollution, and chapter 4 is miscellaneous provisions. Then now coming to the background of this act. In 1976 June, United Nations Conference on the Human Environment was held at the Stockholm, and India has also participated in that conference out of the 113 countries. And but India made only certain changes in the constitutions, like it made the protection of the environment as a fundamental duty, as well as it inserted it as a DPSP, but no separate act for the environment has been brought by India so far. So then the Bhopal gas tragedy happened in 1984, and to fill the lacuna, India under Article 253 of the Indian Constitution implemented the Stockholm Declaration by enacting this Environmental Protection Act. So this Environmental Protection Act is said to be the umbrella legislation, because there is only separate acts like Air Act, Water Act, Wildlife Protection Act, but covering all these, this act was enacted intended to facilitate the collaboration of the central and state authorities established under these acts. Okay, so it is said to be the umbrella legislation. This have to be kept in mind. So now let's move to the chapter 1, that is the preliminary. Section 1 and 2 is included under this preliminary, which is very similar with every act. So it says what is the short title of the act, that is Environmental Protection Act 1986, and what is the extent. It is extends to the whole of India, and commencement we have already seen, that is 19 November 1986. And second section is definition. You have to remember all these definition because it may be a MCQ question in your UGC net. A is for environment, and it includes water, air, land, and the interrelationship which exists among and between these water, air, land, and human beings, also other living creatures, plants, microorganisms, and property. So the question will be like, they will give all these ingredients: water, air, land, and will give one odd or not, and you have to find out that. No, they will give like that. So you should be thorough with all these ingredients, that is water, air, land, human beings, other living creatures, plants, microorganisms, and even the property. Then coming to B is for pollutant. Okay, environmental pollutant means any solid, liquid, gaseous substance present in the concentration as may be or tend to be injurious to the environment. So that concentration will cause some injury to the environment, that is environmental pollutant. And C is for pollution, means the presence in the environment of any environmental pollutant. So if this B is in the environment, then it is environmental pollution. Then D is for handling. Hand D. Okay, in relation to any substance means the manufacturing, processing, treatment, package, storage, transportation, use, collection, destruction, conversion, offering for sale, transfer, or the like of such substance. Okay, so handling involves even this manufacturing of the substance, or processing of it, or treatment, or package, storage, transportation, use of it, or collection, destruction, conversion, offering for sale, transfer, or other like of such substances. So you should be very clear about the definitions. Okay, then E is about hazardous substance. E is for hazardous substance, means a substance or preparation which by reason of its chemical or physico-chemical properties or handling is liable to cause harm to human beings, other living creatures, plants, microorganisms, property, or the environment. So these hazardous substance is nothing but it will be it contains some chemical or physico-chemical properties, and the handling of such substances will cause harm to the human beings or other living creatures or plants or microorganisms or property or the environment. Okay, remember this. Then F is for occupier. Remember free occupation, like that. F is for occupier. In relation to any factory or premises means a person who has control over the affairs of the factory or the premises, and includes in relation to any substance the person in possession of the substance. So if it is a factory or premise, the person who has the control is the occupier. So in case of the substance, the person who has the possession is the occupier. Remember that. G, you can skip it. Okay, remember all this A to F alone. So coming to chapter 2 is about general powers of the central government. So section 3 is the most important section. It says that central government has the power to take measures to protect and improve the environment. So it can take any measures if it deems necessary and expedient for the purpose of protecting and improving the environment. Okay, this is what given in subsection 1, and in subsection 2 it gives some of the measures which can be taken. The first one is coordination of actions by the state governments, offices and other authorities under this act or under any other law in force. Okay, so coordination of the actions, that is one. Second one is planning and execution of a nationwide program for the prevention, control and abatement of environmental pollution. So then planning and execution. Okay, first coordination, then planning and execution of nationwide programs. Then third one is laying down standards for the quality of environment in its various aspects. For example, the government will give, like, from if the pollution is between the air pollution is between 6 to 10, it is poor quality, it is high quality, it is good, it is bad. So that standards that can be given by the central government. Then coming to the fourth one, laying down standards for the emission or discharge of environmental pollutants from various sources. So for this, the central government can fix standards like these industries can only emit such amount of pollutants into the environment. Like that, the standards can be taken by the central government. So combine these and study. 1 and 2 is like coordination and execution, planning and execution. 3 and 4 is about setting down the standards, and 4 is about the restriction of areas in which the industries, operations or processes or class of industries or operations or processes shall not be carried. So it provides some restriction of areas where these industries or the pollutions cannot be taken place. Then clause 6 is about laying down procedures and safeguards for the prevention of accidents which may cause environmental pollution and remedial measures for such accidents. So related to accident, the procedure and safeguards can be made. Similar to this clause 6, 7 is also laying down procedures and safeguards, but for the handling of the hazardous substances. Then 8 is examination of such manufacturing processes, materials and substances as are likely to cause environmental pollutions. Then 9 is carrying out and sponsoring investigations and research relating to the problems of the environmental pollution. So they can conduct investigations and research. Then the 10th one is inspection of any premises, plant, equipment, machinery, manufacturing or other processes, materials or substances, and giving by order such directions to authorities, officers or persons as it may consider necessary to take steps for the prevention, control and abatement of environmental pollution. So 8th one is related to examination of manufacturing processes, whereas 10 is about the inspection. Okay, 6 and 7 is like laying down procedure and safeguards. 8 and 10 is somewhat similar. Then 11 is establishment or recognition of environmental laboratories and institutes to carry out the functions entrusted to such laboratories. So these environmental laboratories we'll see later in this act, and those establishment can be taken as a measure by the central government. Then 12 is collection and dissemination of information in respect of matters relating to environmental pollution. So investigation and research is 9, whereas 12 is collection and dissemination of information. So based on this information, next the preparation of manuals, codes and guides relating to the prevention, control and abatement of environmental pollution can be taken. Then last one says that such other matters as the central government deems necessary or expedient for the purpose of securing the effective implementation of the provisions of this act. So this section 3 subsection 2 measures are only illustrative and they are not exhaustive list. Okay, this also you have to be kept in the mind. Subsection 3 says that the central government will not do all these measures provided in the section 3 on its own. What it will do is it will by order and publish it in the official gazette will constitute an authority or authorities by such name whatever it gives for exercising and performing such powers and the functions and for taking measures which is provided in the subsection 2, and this authority and authorities will work under the supervision and the control of the central government. Okay, this is what provided in the subsection 3. Then moving to section 4. Section 4 is about the appointment of officers and their powers and function. So under section 3 there is some authorities, right? So apart from that authorities, the central government may also appoint officers. Okay, and they may also be entrusted with some powers and functions as under this act as the central government deem fit. That is what provided, and it is again said they will also work under the general control and direction of the central government, if so directed by that government, also of the authority or authorities. So in case the central government says they will work under an authority or authority, then under their control these officers will work. That is what section 4, very easy. And then section 5 is about the power to give direction. So the central government in the exercise of its powers and performance may also issue directions in writing to any person. So this person may be a normal citizen or an industrialist or a owner, any person, or occupier, any person, and then officer provided under section 4 and any authority that is provided under section 3, and such other person, officer or authority shall be bound to comply with such direction, and we should bound by that direction. And for the in the explanation it is given that these power to issue direction also include power to direct the closure, prohibition or regulation of any industry, operation or process. So they can ask us to stop it, and regulation of supply of electricity or water or any other service. This can also be given as a direction. So now section 6 is about rules to regulate environmental pollution. So coming to the chapter 2, the first section, that is section 3, is about the power to take measures. Okay, and section 5 is about the central government's power to appoint officers, and section 5 is about central government's power to make directions in writing, and section 6 is about power to make rules to regulate environmental pollution. This you have to keep in mind. Okay, then the first subsection says the central government may by notification in the official gazette make rules in respect of all or any of the matters referred to in section 3, and for that some illustrations are given under section 2. The first one is standard of quality of air, water or soil for various purposes and areas. So this is we already seen in the section 3 under subsection 2 clause 3. the same only. Then the B is the maximum allowable limits of concentration of various environmental pollutants for different areas. C, the procedures and safeguards for the handling of hazardous substances. This is already provided under section 3 subsection 2 and clause 7. The prohibition and restrictions on the handling of hazardous substances in different areas. The prohibition and restrictions on the location of industries and the carrying on of processes and operations in different areas. Then the procedures and safeguards for the prevention of accidents which may cause environmental pollution and for providing for remedial measures for such accident. It is also provided under section 3 subsection 2 and clause 6. So no need to memorize these in an orderly way, because this is just an illustrative list, no? So just remember the short titles and just have an idea about all of these, because in case some questions are asked, you will be able to give the answer by some basic understanding, right? For that I have given this. And the chapter 3 and chapter 4 we will see in the part 2 of this video. Kindly subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.